And I'm like, hello, we are live, my lovey. I'm Melissa Trumble. I'm here with Carole Filion, a fantastico badass femme who, like myself, is reprogramming the world.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Love it. Can I steal that? I'm going to write that down. That's amazing.
Of course you can steal it.
Love
Carole,
it.
it's not like I'm going to remember in 5 minutes, but let's get started. Okay.
Why do you think I had to write it down?
It's like, if I ever told anyone I'm going to do anything, I'm just like, notes to self. Or I just put it on my calendar. But any losers, what we were talking about today is in the professional environment, in your workplace, all right, things happen, we don't have control over them, a client backs out of a contract, or, let's say you're working on a campaign to get X, Y, or Z business in the door, and it explodes in your face. You're covered with egg. It's just humiliating. How do you pick up from there? I inherited this savvy phrase, pick up your pieces and move on. And I totally agree with that. And I will say it's imperative that you feel your feelings first.
Yes.
So what do you think, Carole? Take it away.
Oh, absolutely. So yes, first place, absolutely. What you're feeling is legit. It has to happen. Don't just cover it up. You're not putting a Band-Aid over the engine light here and go, la, 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 la. Everything's fine. It's all good. I have no idea what that steam is. It's coming out of the front, but right? It's not like, don't Pollyanna this thing, right?
Yeah, everything's going to work out. And that's true because I look at it, this may be grim to some, but having dealt with life or death situations throughout my existence here on this whirl around the planet, it's either going to work out or you're going to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it may not work out the way you wanted it to. It may not look like what you wanted it to look like. Accolades for a job well done, a bonus, a promotion, money rolling in the door, being able to admit your payroll for another month. These are stressors that people who are running businesses have. And then the lesser stressed, i.e. the workers, are not even aware of anything like that. And so that is one of the things I like to remind my clients of is you have no idea what your supervisor or your manager has going on. They are under stresses you don't need to know about. Why would you want to? Like, that's not your job. Your job is to contribute to the projects or to whatever it is at your workplace and give that to your boss so that then they can zhuzh it up, do whatever they're going to do, give it to their bosses, and so on and so on.
That they do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And
my point being, wait, hang on a second, Carole. Yeah. My point being, if your boss is snarky or in a mood or whatever, and looks at you askance or strangely, that's them. You don't know what they're dealing with. Please.
Exactly.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah. Be kind always. You don't know what battle they're waging.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, and this whole conversation actually reminds me of a TED Talk that I saw Tim Ferriss do years back, and a huge fan of his. And I know I'm going to paraphrase, and I might just be remembering bits and pieces of it. But one of the things that kind of stood out was that, do the worst case scenario. What if the absolute worst happens? Now you're there. What part of this can you control? Right? Look at what you can control and control it. Do what you can.
Yeah, 100%. This is Stoic philosophy. P.S. says, nerd up, y'all. Come on, let's talk about it. Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, all
exactly.
You have your circle of everything.
Yep.
All the concerns that you have in the world, including, continued employment, getting a raise, getting and you do have control over parts of that, i.e. your job performance, right? Your attitude with your colleagues, your ability to work as a team with other people at your job. All of those things, the soft skills, the technical skills you can work on and improve. And yet you cannot control what happens in the marketplace, what happens, across the industry,
other
much less
behavior.
In your actual business, in the place where you work.
Mhm.
What contracts are they winning, losing? What clients are leaving? What more are coming on? Are they not selling the widgets?
Right.
All of these things, it doesn't matter if your job is important, but if
Mhm.
the company cannot afford to pay the labor, which is all the workers.
Mhm. Then yeah. Yeah, there's something missing in that little in that wheel. There's a couple of cogs missing. There's
So
gonna be a
yeah,
problem.
you can't worry about all the stuff that's out. You have
No.
your little circle
Yeah.
of things that you can do something about,
Yeah.
and that's what you focus on, and
Yeah.
that's what you can do. And that includes
Mhm.
keeping your resume circling,
Mhm.
it's out in circulation,
Mhm.
continually looking for other places, other
Yeah.
jobs, other experiences.
Mhm.
What
Mhm.
professional upgrades can you do for yourself?
Right.
Whether that's a certification or a master's or even just a training.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like Six Sigma is a big deal here in the US. If
Mhm.
you get certified in that, what if you can
Yeah.
be a Scrum master? Am I saying that correctly? I always get confused because it sounds like rugby, honestly, but it's a business thing.
Okay. New one on me.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go. But no, you're right. And those are the things that, yeah, you can control. Now, you can also control your perception of that disappointment. That's in you that's completely within your purview. So,
yes,
yeah, the customer or the client backed out of a deal. You needed that money.
right,
Yeah, the suckage on that is huge. Absolutely, no doubt about it.
yeah,
However, what if that situation is just priming you for something even better?
right. It could be priming you for something better. It can be showing you that the marketplace does not bear what you're doing any longer or at this moment.
Yep.
Like, it's all information, and when we divorce ourselves from the concept that there are good and
Mhm.
bad events, no,
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
are events,
Exactly, and they're all in and of themselves, they're neutral. It's whatever we're
100%.
attaching to it
Yeah,
that gives it that breathes life into it. And so what yeah, exactly. What kind of CPR are you gonna give this thing, right?
exactly. Or should you let the patient go, the patient,
Mm.
or the
Yep.
project or the whatever,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
develop something new,
Yeah.
right? And then that's
Yep.
also where, especially in small business or solopreneurship,
Yep.
when you have a small team, like I've got me and three other people,
Yeah.
that is it.
Yeah.
Um, then you still have to control what you can control,
Mhm.
look for what you can find, and respond to the marketplace in a way that keeps you sleeping inside
Yep.
and keeps the payroll paid.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And that those are the things that's just it. We think what we can control are really just those nuts and bolts things, but it's a lot of our higher faculties, our creative faculties. We have control over that,
Yeah,
right? And
100%.
perception is one of them. How do I perceive the situation? What am I doing with this information? Like you said, it's just information. What am I
Yep.
going to do with it? Maybe I am working with something that's outdated. Maybe this does need some upgrading. Maybe this needs to right?
Or
To just go, or maybe I need to be looking in a different sandbox. Maybe I'm in the wrong sandbox.
or maybe you're pitching to the wrong client.
Yeah,
Maybe they're not solvent enough
the
to sign
sandbox.
on for what you're selling.
Yep.
So you
Oh,
need to get in the room with some other clients. So
right.
there's everything, nothing's clear, right?
Mhm.
Clear as
Yeah,
mud.
yeah.
And yet we do have choices and we do have information. And I
No.
also want to address when something does blow up in your
Mhm,
face, or something fails and you're struggling with the results.
mhm,
Give yourself space to feel the feelings
mhm,
completely, like,
mhm,
to a cellular level, to your toenails and eyelashes. Every bit of you can feel the disappointment, the, anger, the,
mhm,
irritation, all of the things. Set a timer for that, whether
mhm.
it's 5 minutes, an hour, a day, whatever it is for you,
Yep.
and let it go,
Right.
because now you can do the
Yeah.
work with the information you've got. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes, and it doesn't mean that it's a foregone conclusion that you have failed.
No, you've
Right?
learned.
Yeah, don't fast forward it to the end. It's like, okay, there might be something happening at the 10-yard line, but
Yeah,
right? It doesn't mean it's over.
right. But you do have information you weren't expecting.
Correct.
And you can do a post-mortem, so to speak, and figure out what went wrong.
Yeah.
How? Are you able to find out how
Mhm.
it went wrong?
Yep.
Maybe you're not, but you are able to figure out how to move forward
Yeah.
with your business, with your job.
Yeah.
And dare I say, if you get curious enough and intrigued enough by what you're dealing with,
Mhm.
look for the joy.
Yeah.
Look for the
Yeah.
thank you, like, oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
would have locked my business into X, Y, or Z,
Yep.
and I would lack the freedom to pursue whatever else, because you're going to have to pivot, right? We need money.
Absolutely.
I like sleeping
Absolutely.
outside, like that's
Yeah,
just how we are.
absolutely. Yeah, I like a bed for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, big fan, big fan. But yeah, I think one of my favorite sayings is, rejection is God's protection.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
You know,
Tell me more.
sometimes a no is a huge favor. You
That's
look
true.
back on it. That's why it's like if you can switch your perception and go, okay, what do I have to learn here? And what if there was something even bigger that's waiting for me? Ooh, what does that look like? And start imagining it,
Yes,
right?
I can give a personal example. When I got
Mhm,
sacked, fired
mhm,
from the CPA firm where I was working a few years ago,
mhm.
I was, having all the feelings of, like I felt relieved because doing taxes is a terrible job. It's soul sucking and you work every hour of the day during tax season and subsequent tax seasons, which are like the deadline dates and tax planning. It's just relentless.
Yep.
Um, and if I would have just jumped back on the treadmill and
Mhm.
gotten another job, I wouldn't be doing this work. I'd just
Right.
be doing taxes, helping rich people save money. Yahoo. I'm changing lives.
Right. And talking about joy. Come
Yeah.
on.
I'm
Come
I'm
on.
helping people fall in love with themselves
Right?
so that then they up their game and require others to treat them well.
What a concept.
Oh,
Right?
I mean, like, cry me a
Yeah.
river. Thank you
Yeah.
for thank you for firing me, you know?
Yeah, well, you know what? There's another saying, you might wanna write this one down, right? Well, if you're looking for sympathy, you'll find it between shit and syphilis.
All right, this is live, so I can't bleep that out, but,
Sorry.
I'm real classy and so are my friends is really the takeaway here. But it's true.
Tell
And
me that
while
ain't
neither
true.
one of those
Mhm.
have any value, right? They're value
Right?
neutral,
Yeah.
but why
Mhm,
would you seek that out?
mhm. Yeah.
So for sympathy, cradle yourself,
Yeah.
love yourself,
Yeah.
protect your inner child or your wounded part of you,
Right.
and let yourself know. Like, just like we have a rib cage that protects our organs,
Yeah.
we have our higher self to help protect us from the ego bumps and bruises and,
Love it.
all of the things. Ego's good. It helps you get things done,
Yeah.
right? And
Mhm.
yet it
And it
can
protects you.
also hold us back to
Mhm,
protect us, right?
mhm. Right.
And
Right.
so care for it just like you would with a kid.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's a bobo, it's a bad one. Whoo, hop up. What do you think? Can you still move your leg? Is your knee going to work?
Yeah.
Like all of those
Yeah.
things that we do for little kids, or like that's how I roll. Um,
Mhm. Yeah. No, no, I hear you. Absolutely. No, you're right, and I love it. Yeah, the rib cage analogy, absolutely. And it is that, and it is worth, it is worth taking the time to sit with that.
right.
And
And
we don't find those still moments. I know you like to be out in nature, and that's where you find a lot of that, I'm sure, right?
yes.
It's the same thing. I love meditation. So it's to find those still moments to hear that voice, to hear the higher self speaking.
And I learned something from a super wonderful force of nature, Jennifer Orezio, at her Roar retreat a couple days ago. Look for the action in the stillness. And if that doesn't resonate, look for the stillness in the action.
Ooh,
Okay. And
yeah.
then really discover, like, what is it to be still? What is it to be? What is your state of being?
Mm,
In the Western world, we're not really good at that. We're really into what are you
yeah.
doing? What do you do for a living? What do you do with your kids? What do you do with your
Do. Yeah,
partner? It's all about what you do.
right.
And yet, we are worthy of everything, every miracle, every drop in the ocean, every lightning bolt in the sky, simply
Mhm.
because we are.
Yeah. I love it.
Just yeah, and if that doesn't resonate with you, think about when someone you love is pregnant or they're expecting a baby. Maybe they're adopting, maybe they're gonna have the baby, whatever. How exciting that is,
Mm,
and how happy you are for them, and how happy they are. Like, okay, then the baby's born and it doesn't have that same value,
yeah.
or you're here and you don't have that same value. WTF, that's not true.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
love this.
yeah,
We
yeah.
could go on for hours.
That's fair. You're absolutely right. But we will not inflict that on you on this gorgeous afternoon. Gorgeous in Virginia right now is like a steady drizzle. I mean, thank you, Helene, for all of the
Yeah.
destruction. A friend of mine asked me if I was having PTSD from Hurricane Katrina with all of the news footage of the flooding and everything.
Oh
And
my.
I'm just like, well, I mean, there's no boats in the trees. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like when you've been through worse,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not negating the loss of life and property. That is terrible. I lost my home.
Right.
I lost everything. I get
Really.
it.
Yeah.
However, I'm a pretty freaking joyful person now.
Mhm.
I mean, that was a lull, a period that I really had to work hard to see anything good, and I'm
Mm.
so glad I did it.
Yeah. Yeah. Perception.
Yeah, 100%. So, any Hoosers, keep in mind, joy in your personal life, your work life, in whatever life, it's all around us. All the good stuff is around us, as well
Always.
as all the stuff we may not consider good.
Always. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
onward and upward, my lovey. Talk to you next time.
Have a good one. Bye.